spiders. Oof. So much food today. Let's see if the cat food's still okay. Is anybody in there? Oh, they went through that food. All right, let's refill that real quick. You hear those birds? This is leftover food that I'm not feeding my cats anymore. One of my babies passed. I don't really talk about that, but they were having some stomach troubles because of an issue that they had. Cats around here get cancer a lot, which is unfortunate, but we tried to ease his pain as much as we could with meds and with food that was a little easier to digest. So we don't need this food anymore, so I'm going to give it to the strays. It's not a lot, it will probably be gone in no time, but whatevs. All right. Everything seems clean in there. Now, I want to show you what happened to the bird feeders. Okay, so last week I was worried because I didn't think the bird feeders would do that great. But this is the current state of the bird feeders. It went from about up here to down there. And I will admit, there are little tiny birds that come and sit inside here and eat the food, which I think is hilarious. But even though these deter the squirrels, they have figured out how to wrap their legs around this cage, hang upside down, and eat the food from the bottom. Because they're ridiculous. It's not like they're starving. Look at all the wasted food on the ground. Here's what it looks like on top of layers and layers of mud and cardboard. And there's a tree trunk over there. But clearly, if you leave the bird seed, it will grow. So that's funny and very interesting to me. Now, we have the bird feeder that allows seed cakes. Obviously, it's not been eaten through that much, but let's look underneath. And so far as we can see, it doesn't look like there's a lot of food missing. I did see some birds come through here a few days ago. So I think, just like with the other feeders, we just have to leave it out for a while. Because now this feeder over here is very far down. This feeder over here is also very far down. So I think it's just a matter of the birds getting used to the feeders. So what I think I will do, because I know baby, my cat is in the kitchen window looking at me feeding everybody else except for her, even though I already gave her treats. But it's dinner time, obviously. But so I'll consider these a success. But I was gonna work in the garden this weekend and I said maybe I'll refill them, but let's just keep to the schedule and let me go bring you over so I can fill up these feeders. Okay, I'm getting eaten up alive out here. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of the stuff on the bottom. So that only this remains, okay? Just whatever's left in there, okay? And it'll come out of here if you shake this thing hard enough. But let me show you what the squirrels have been up to. And already, already someone's been chewing. Do you see that? Someone's been chewing on this cable. Okay, sorry, I did that a bit off camera, but I just cleaned up anything that was in here. If it rained, it might have pooled here. There are little holes. I don't know if you can see. There are little holes at the bottom so that the rain can come out, but some of the seed still comes out. So I will fill this up. Had to grab my trusty scoop. So we're gonna use the bigger bag of the regular bird seed from the supermarket. The birds are crying. My poor cat's crying. Everybody wants food. Now we use this kind of as a level. I'd like to fill it up to here and leave it at that. Okay, this little, I think the swinging of this back and forth might be what's causing this little piece of plastic to break. But the metal is underneath it, so it should be all right. Now this one, same thing. Put it here. Hopefully it'll be good there. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so that one's done. This one is done. Okay, good. Okay, so those two are filled. Now this one, we do this is the bird food I got at Ollie's, which I think is a southern thing. In New York we used to have Cheap John's, and 99-cent stores didn't necessarily exist, but we definitely had places to get stuff for cheap. On Long Island we had a place called Cheap John's, and that's where we used to go for school supplies and stationery things and whatever we could get. Now there are 99-cent stores everywhere, and now there are Dollar Trees and Dollar General and places that I never heard of until I was an adult. Of course, the mealworms. Some mealworms. And because the squirrels love it, some extra sunflower seeds. I might be making a different meal every time. I don't know. Maybe, oops, maybe it keeps it fresh. I think next time I'll bring out a little mixing bowl. Maybe mix this all up. But the mourning doves love to sit on this thing, and they just sit here and eat after the squirrels have gotten their fill. All right, let's go put these away. Okay, this one, and this one. Now, as for this bad boy, where there was some kind of food before, it's not there anymore. They ate everything. I guess between the ants and the other animals and what have you, that's been decimated. So that's kind of cleaned off. I may spray that off with a hose, get it a little clean, maybe just go in with a dry brush. And I do want to set this up again. Now, figuring where it goes, because I've got 1 there, 2, 3. Oh, I don't have one here. 4. I was thinking about maybe running a pole right here. So in between these two, I can put this on a post so that it has some kind of, not leverage, but it can balance. And that so if the big heavy birds get on here, it's not gonna shake it all over the place, right? This is really meant to be sitting atop something so that it doesn't move. So I'll have to figure out that. Maybe I'll come up with some kind of plan, some kind of design to put it on either, I don't know if it's 4x4s or like some extra wood that I have lying around the house. I'll figure something out. But I do have one of those, it's not a stake, but it's a birdhouse, or it's a bird feeder pole that telescopes, so that when you put it in the ground, you can raise it up really high so that the birds can fly up there and get the food and so on and so forth. And then when you bring it down, you could refill it with bird food. And I'm like, I love to spoil these critters, but I'm not gonna start telescoping stuff way up. That's like, if you guys want to go eat stuff that's on the trees, go to the trees. That's what they're for. So let's look. Oh my god, it's so, oh, I was gonna pick up a mealworm. So what's the plan for this week? I have a lot to do. I have to go through, I have to check all my fruit trees. I have to get rid of more brambles, prune back anything that has crazy growth, and yeah, make sure my roses are good. I have a lot of stuff to clean up as usual, but I am not discouraged because things are looking great. Stuff is starting to wake up, and I do want to bring you around to the front to show you my walking onions, because I think they're the coolest creepy thing in the garden. These are some of my favorite gifted plants. my walking onions. I love how crazy they look, and they even have flowers. Love it. And see, they spread everywhere, and I can eat them. And you see that? Apparently I'm growing wheat. Subscribe for recipes coming soon. I just love the way these look. And all this other nonsense I have to get rid of. Here are my zinnias. Store-boughts are over there. These are the ones from seed. Those are my fuchsia, which are almost about to burst with color. More zinnias. More zinnias. And these are growing the fastest. These are from seed. That's exciting. More fuchsias. And this is the craziness that I have to clean up. As you can see, my blueberries are doing great. I just have to catch them before the animals do. And over there, that big tall thing, that's a weed. So that's today's video. Some of my favorite garden items are the things that were given to me, like these walking onions, the trees that I bought, and the critters that come to visit me every day because they know that I can give them food. I'm not mad, I understand. I hope everybody is out there staying safe. I hope you're calling your representatives if you're in the US, making sure that your voice is heard, and you don't want anybody to take away your rights. And the only way to do that is to fight back. There are many ways to resist, and if you have any questions or want any ideas on how to do that, you can go to civichandbook.info. It's a webpage I put together to tell you the things you can do, like protesting, like joining groups, like mutual aid, and all types of other things that you can do to help make sure that everybody's rights are protected, because that's super important. And remember, gardening is also resisting. Stay safe out there, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! So Charlie wanted to know if I was into succulents. Well, yes and no. I kind of got them by accident, and I think I've explained this in previous videos, but I will go through it again. This is what I have. These are, I believe it's called Haworthia, and I received one of these when they were about this big, next to my big orchid. And now that plant, I believe, made this pup. I think this is the original plant. So now I have pups. So now I have this plant was the original. I broke it off into that, and I broke it off into that. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these plants. And they're great because I just figured they were really cute, you know, accompanying plants that were on the side of my orchids. And one day I came downstairs and they flowered, and it was beautiful. So those are my Haworthias. I have to put a sign on here. But look, it's growing more. They're very happy. They're very happy here. And I just leave them in my grow house for the seedlings. And then these are the Kalanchoe. I have to double check. I have to see if these are actually succulents, because it looks kind of like it because the leaves are really thick thick, but I'm not sure. I know that every place there are these hairy vines, they are good to root. So I can technically make a plant out of every one of these, which is, I ended up putting just the petals in here, and that grew into this big plant like that. Now these I have neglected, as I've neglected so many things, but they're still hanging in there. I might just compost these and then stick with this really big one, but we'll see. But for now, those are my succulents.